Well, welcome to Video 6. If you have not seen Video 5, I suggest you look at it first. I'm wearing a red coat, so that might help you identify it on YouTube. Video 6 is part 2 of the 4 parts of the immoral U.S. suffocation of Iran. And the subtitle of this video is Reasons for the U.S. to occupy the Middle East. So let me put up a map to discuss this subject. Bear with me a second, please. Okay, I think we have a pretty good picture here of the Middle East and the information I have to share with you. One reason that the U.S. is in the Middle East is to protect and promote the TAPI pipeline. That's a natural gas pipeline which is from Turkmenistan through Afghanistan, through Pakistan, and into India. That's why it's called the TAPI. Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India. TAPI for those 4 countries. The funding for this pipeline, the estimated cost of it, is $7.6 billion. If it's anything like the U.S. defense contracts, it will cost twice that much before it's finished. 600 miles of that pipeline goes through Afghanistan, where there's a lot of turmoil with regard to insurgency and so forth. The pipeline is scheduled to begin next year, 2012, and is to be finished in 2014. Now, is that a coincidence that the U.S. military is scheduled to be out of Afghanistan in 2014? Now, the pipeline has not begun yet, and it will not begin until security is obtained for the entire length of the pipeline. The oil companies and banks are not going to provide the funds until the security is obtained. Now, another reason for the U.S. in the Middle East is to prevent the IPI pipeline, which is from Iran over to Pakistan and into India. It's already complete in Iran for about 683 miles, but the U.S. is doing its best to prevent Pakistan and India from taking part in this pipeline because they want to suffocate Iran. And also there are other reasons that you will be made aware of later, that we want to stifle Iran and its trade with other nations. Now, I designate this the IPC from the South Pars gas field in the Persian Gulf of Iran to Multan, Pakistan, on up to China. Now, China has spent over $25 billion in Iran, helping Iran to explore natural gas and oil, so they certainly expect some benefits from that money they have spent in Iran. And getting natural gas piped to them is certainly one of the ways that that obligation could be paid by Iran. Now let's look at another map to show you some other oil line activity in the Middle East. From Baku, Azerbaijan, there's a dual pipeline which is an oil pipeline and a natural gas pipeline going to Tbilisi, Georgia, and down to Erzurum, Turkey. The oil pipeline continues on down to Ceyhan, Turkey, which is on the Mediterranean, and the natural gas pipeline stops at Erzurum, but the continuation of it is still in the planning construction stage and will go west, and that's called the Nabucco pipeline, and it's also called the Turkey to Austria pipeline. So that goes over to serve the European Union. Let me share another map with you to show you the activity in the Middle East and the interest, why the United States is so interested in Iran and the Middle East. This shows the pipelines I've already discussed with you, the TAPI pipeline, the IPI, the IPC into China, and now, believe it or not, the U.S. is not able to completely stifle all of Iran's foreign trade. For instance, from Tabriz, Iran, there is a natural gas pipeline that has been completed to Ankara, Turkey. And the plans are, when the Nabucco pipeline is completed, that there will be a connection into the Nabucco pipeline here to go on and provide energy to the European Union, Austria, and other countries. A general objective of the United States is to protect U.S. oil companies and their investors. Unocal and ConocoPhillips, both U.S. oil companies, have promoted Middle East pipeline projects that have gone nowhere because of the U.S. bullying in the Middle East, especially the bullying of Iran. When the atmosphere becomes less hostile in that area, maybe oil companies and bankers will again become interested in investing in the TAPI pipeline. U.S. dollars and U.S. lives are trying to make that happen. Well, that wraps up video 6. Look for me in the blue coat in video 7. Believe it or not, video 7 will reveal even more reasons for the U.S. to want to control Iran. See you on video 7 in my blue coat.